Now, even though she's only 16 years of age, my next guest has already achieved in a few short years what most people could only dream of doing in a lifetime. She has starred opposite such Hollywood names as Michelle Pfeiffer, Keira Knightley, Cate Blanchett and indeed Bill Murray. She has been nominated for a BAFTA, a Golden Globe and an Oscar. But it clearly runs in the family because her dad is an actor too. So would you welcome them both, please, Saoirse Ronan and her father, Paul, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Thank you.
You were on my first Late Late Show, weren't you?
I know, yeah.
Here we are, 17,000 years later.
It's been a while now.
How are you since we last met? How's it all been going?
It's been going well, yeah. I've been busy.
Yeah.
I've been away. But it's all been fantastic, and I can't believe it's been a year since we were here. A lot has happened
it's longer,
since then.
I think.
Yeah, it is 18
I think
months
it's
or so.
just over a year,
It's
yeah.
been an extraordinary time at every level. We'll talk about all that in a second, but in many ways, Paul, as the dad in the equation here, you're responsible for Saoirse being an actress, and she's responsible for being a fab actress, but you kind of started it all in some ways, didn't you?
Well, yeah, there's a few people involved, I mean, along the road that led to Saoirse being an actress, and I think from an early age, from about the age of 2, I spotted something in her that, I wasn't trying to make an actress of her then, you know, but I realised she was a special kid. She was very imaginative and very friendly and sociable and you know, more so than any kid I'd ever seen. And as she grew up and stuff, and I was acting, she was on the sets, well, a lot of sets with me, and she would be on the sets. So she grew up around actors and you know, theatre actors, and friends of ours would stay with us in New York. And eventually, when she was, I think it was probably 7 or 8 when we did the short film. I put her in a short film I was doing. They needed a kid, and I said, well, I've got one.
Yeah.
And you know, she did that.
Got one handy.
I've got one handy, yeah.
Hanging around the house.
Hang on a second.
She's not doing that.
You got one?
Yeah.
She's 7. It's about time she went to work,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out there, make
Old school.
Make a few bob for yourself.
And of course, you ended up in the clinic together, didn't you? You were very. I mean, do you recall? You were only 7, so do you remember filming that and everything? Or is it all
Yeah,
a bit of a blur?
I do. I remember my first day, and I was about maybe 8 at the time, and I was very nervous.
Yeah. And
I didn't know anyone. And I don't know where we were shooting, but it was, you know, North Sea drama, and everyone was busy doing their thing, and it was my first. I mean, it was a different experience to me being on a film set with Dad.
Job, like, I mean, it was just
you know.
like, you know, I mean, this particular short I was doing. I wasn't
you
in
were
the clinic.
You were in the second season that they did.
In the clinic.
You shared a scene ultimately, which we're going to show.
Well, the first
now.
season, yeah. You see, the reason we shared that was because, I mean, in the scene she has to be, you know, knocked down by a car, or almost knocked down, or she'll run in front of a car and the car stops and she falls. So, well, we were a bit nervous about that, and even though I knew all the stunt guys and everything, I was still a bit nervous. So they put me driving the car, and so I had to jump out and pretend to be the stranger who was afraid to be.
Were you nervous?
So I was glad to be around when she was doing her first scene. It was great. It was a great honour.
It was exciting, wasn't it?
It was exciting,
it was good, yeah.
Can you remember that?
We loved it.
You can remember
course.
it? Yeah. She was brilliant.
What a strange first scene to have together.
I know.
Oh, yeah, nearly killing your little girl.
Almost. Not quite, though.
Let's have a look at it, just to remind ourselves. Yeah. Look at you're just so little in it.
Oh. What is it?
Kid ran out. Oh, my God, are you okay? Don't move, just stay where you are.
Brianna, are you okay?
She just appeared from
I'm
nowhere.
a doctor, just let me look her up.
I was driving on, she ran out
Let me
between the
check
cars.
her out.
Okay, sorry, go on.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Then it's okay. Everyone just got a big fright. The car didn't even hit her. Oh, for God's sake, Rhiannon!
Please, thank you. Don't go away again, please.
Oh, good.
Look at the little thing.
I've got the squeakiest voice. I didn't realise. Oh my God.
That's because you were 7. Of course you had the squeaky voice.
A completely different person.
Were you? Yeah. Because you were 7.
Because it was ages ago.
Yeah. You're 16 now.
Yeah.
9 years isn't ages.
Depressing. But you, then of course, you got used to hanging around the sets, didn't you? And the cameras and actors. So it became kind of second nature for you. And when you're, even now, and in the last few years, when your star has risen and to such lofty, heights and so on, did you agree that it was all family on tour, yourself and your mum and your dad, like all heading off together. Was that the agreement to make it all safe and sound?
Yeah. Well,
it was just inevitable, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had to. I mean, Saoirse was a child, and we had to take care of her. We're her parents, and she's our only child. So we had to be there for her, and well, we weren't, we had no security for her. I mean, so we kind of filled in the jobs. Monica was always, she had to have a chaperone anyway, so Monica actually worked as the chaperone, was paid as a chaperone,
But an alternative chaperone, though, was never
was
the
not
option
an issue,
for
because
us.
who could replace your mum and dad, like,
Yeah.
as someone, especially someone that age, how could you look after someone? Nobody would take care of you as much as your mum and dad, like. So.
Paul, is she you can just talk among yourself for a second, Saoirse. Paul, is she demanding? Is she difficult on occasions?
Live TV, Dad.
Well,
Saoirse, I asked you just to keep to yourself for a minute.
Sorry.
Crisps, and although Monica takes care of that, she has to have her own tea bags brought with her everywhere.
Okay,
And
if anyone in this audience went somewhere else, they would bring Barry's tea bags with them. Wouldn't you?
Or lines
Or Tato crisps.
Yeah.
No walkers.
No walkers. Oh, okay. There's a very nationalist feel to the
Well,
programme tonight.
I remember the last time I was on the show, and there was this big controversy after I said that I preferred walkers.
Yeah, but you don't anymore.
I don't anymore.
Yeah,
no.
you're
Definitely.
So what keeps you grounded? I mean, look, you're moving in these circles. I mentioned the actors and actresses that you've been starring with, and it's their pleasure. You're at the stage now where it's their privilege to act with you now. So that's kind of changing, which is lovely and well deserved, incidentally. What keeps you grounded? You should be, of course, slightly bonkers and demanding, but you're none of the above.
Tea bags.
Tea bags and crisps.
And tiredness.
Yeah.
Because she's so tired after. I mean, we just got back from a publicity tour for her new film, and it's so tiring going to. I mean, it sounds great. You're going to London and Paris and Madrid and premieres and paparazzi snapping photographs and
It's
all the
very
attention,
strange.
But, when you get home, it's like.
Well, the whole thing is, when it's a press tour, it's exciting. It's very exciting because you're getting a chance, you're getting opportunities to go to all these different places that I probably, at my age, I wouldn't get to go to. But it's a very sort of unnatural thing to have people taking your photograph and posing for like 50 photographers at one point.
Yeah.
It's strange. It's great, and there's a good adrenaline and energy when you're on a red carpet with people that you enjoy being with and things like that. When I'm with cast members and things, it's fine, but it is kind of weird.
To get your head around it and wonder what was all that, especially when you get back to the hotel, I presume, and you're watching a film or something, go, actually, it's all very...
I think you just have to forget about it. I just leave it behind.
The Oscar nomination was, I think, it was a very proud moment for a lot of us watching who were fans, and like myself. And do you remember when the nominations came through, Paul, the proud dad? Because it was, of course, the middle of the night at that stage.
It was you that stayed up.
Yeah, we were in New Zealand, and we were in the house we were staying in, and I knew that things were coming through, but I couldn't possibly go to sleep. There was maybe 2, 3, 4 hours or whatever before they were going to be announced. And I was waiting by the mobile phone, the phone in the house and everything. Just, somebody was going to call me first, our agent in California, in LA, or somebody who saw it on the telly or whatever, And the agent called and told me that she's got the nomination, which I fully expected.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
So your dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she and I think you were up in bed, and your mum was in bed, and I think you just heard me screaming and jumping up and down and making weird sounds and whistling and all sorts of things and banging walls. And
just knocking the house down. Well, I remember being up in the bedroom because we were in New Zealand, and I was working on the Lovely Bombs at the time, so I was preparing myself for work the next day by getting my rest, and suddenly I just woke up maybe a few minutes beforehand, and then I heard the phone ring, and I thought, I wonder...
Is that the call?
Is that good news, bad news? What is it? Do they ring you even if you don't get a nomination? What happens? And then Dad started screaming and jumping around, and so we went downstairs and...
And so it began.
There I
I mean,
was, passed out.
what a great moment for you. It must have been...
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the phone calls that were made then back to Ireland, back to the family and friends and everything, didn't matter what time of the day it was, over here, over there. You know, we were just so delighted and so proud, and you know.
I remember we spoke the last time as well about the film you were making then, which is now out, which is The Way Back.
Yes.
And it's Colin Farrell and yourself and Ed Harris. I mean, brilliant. All three of you are excellent in it as well, I have to say. And it's. Did you enjoy working with Colin, by the way? Just remind us of.
I really.
Did he look after you?
He did. Yes, he did. Colin is. I'm sure you've met him. He's a really lovely guy, and he's very grounded. And Dad has worked with him as well,
Sure.
and he's just a very lovely person to be around. He's kind of infectious, his energy and everything. And actually, when we went to Morocco, which he wasn't going to be shooting in, he had been there before, and he knew that the food wasn't very similar to ours at all. It's all lamb there. It's all tagine. It's all lamb. And he sent me over this box that has tea bags and chocolates and crisps, Tayto crisps, and all these beautiful Irish foods.
Well done. You're really getting a hang of it,
Beautiful.
Saoirse. Yeah. Good. And that was his package that he was out to send over
It
to
was,
you,
and
the
he
packet
sent that
stuff.
to me when I was in Morocco, and it just made my year to have that, because
The
it
film
reminded
that you're
me
in,
of
by the way,
home.
that you're talking about, it looks grueling. It looked like a grueling film to make, because it's these guys, a bunch of prisoners who escaped from what looks like a gulag in Siberia, and you're making your way across, whether it's intense heat or intense cold, and it looked heavy going. I wonder, was the shoot tough going for you, or did they make it very easy? Was the
No, they
for
didn't
the whole
make it
Hollywood
very
thing?
easy. No, it wasn't a Hollywood movie
easy.
set at all.
Okay.
It was tough, but it was fantastic, and I think ultimately the struggle that all the cast went through in the desert and in Bulgaria and up in the mountains and all these different things, it actually ended up benefiting our performance quite a bit.
Let's have a little look at it.
Okay.
Okay. You're crossing the ice here.
Yeah.
It's good.
No, it won't take our weight. We'll have to swim across.
Can you swim?
Yes, mister.
You wouldn't lie to me.
I'm not lying, comrade.
You don't call me comrade.
Irena, no!
And they all followed you afterwards. So you're back from, you have another couple of movies coming out soon. I mean, it's just, you're on the merry-go-round all the time, aren't you? How's your fan base coming along? Are you getting lots of fan mail now? Is it all...
Yeah, I've gotten a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah, well, she gets fan mail from, you know, you get nice little letters from little girls that want, you know, or little boys or young people that want photographs and stuff like that, and then you get letters from
50-year-old men.
50-year-old elf fellas. And
What do
bit
they
weird.
want?
I don't know what they want. I know what I'd like to give them.
There's a few.
Do you have a boyfriend?
She's marrying her
Ryan.
daddy. I've been telling her
Come
that
on
since
now.
the age of 2.
Do you really think I'm going to say that on national TV?
Yes.
No.
No, you're not going to tell me, or no, you don't have one?
Tumbleweed.
I think you've just answered my question, sir. Look at that. This is a brilliant dynamic here.
Yeah,
Dad going.
Next
You're sitting there like
question.
this going, does she have one? Is it a secret? So next question is,
Yes,
obviously
next
this
question.
movie's out on St. Stephen's Day in Ireland, The Way Back.
It is,
Congratulations on
26th
that.
of December.
And where are you off to? So Christmas is home? Carlo?
Yeah, we're going to be at home for Christmas, and we're going to get up in the morning. Still very early. I still get up very early.
Yeah, even though okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're waiting for Santa to come and
Of course.
see if he delivers the
I'm
presents
very
on the tree.
excited.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm getting, so
I know what
there'll
I'm
be a
getting.
lot
I've
of
written my letter.
What are you getting?
I'm not telling you.
Why not?
Because it's a surprise from Santa.
But we can know, surely.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll trade you. Okay. Tell me about the boyfriend and tell me about Santa. Anyway, look, thanks for coming. Happy Christmas to you and your families. You know I'm a great fan of yours, and Paul, appreciate you bringing her in. You've got your work cut out for you for the next 10 years, I think.
Well,
So good luck with
it's
that.
good work, though.
Saoirse and Paul Ronan, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
By the way,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Paul.
There's one other thing. We're doing Saoirse is doing a book signing tomorrow in Brown Thomas for the book that
Barry McCall.
The Barry
Oh,
McCall.
the photos, yeah.
ISPCC.
Lovely picture
And
of you
it's
in that.
for the ISPCC, and Saoirse is now an ambassador for the ISPCC, and we're doing that tomorrow between 3 and 5.
So if you want to go in and meet Saoirse and get the book signed, it's a great cause, it's a great book.
Some great money to a great
Excellent,
cause.
good work. Thanks for that, Paul. Lovely to see you both. Thanks a million.